Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias and welcome back to Anti-Material Energy. In the last episode, we were doing a handful of quests, doing a bunch of stuff with crops, which as you can see I have expanded the farm a little bit, made it a little bit nicer and whatnot, and we started working with Paracel. So that is a really cool mod. It's fairly powerful. We'll get to a lot of cool stuff we can do with it later. But for right now, we can't really do too much. What are we going to do today? Well, mob killing is kind of slow and tedious. I did kill a witch, so I've gotten a potion. Didn't get any redstone or anything like that, though, so a little bit of a disappointment, but there's plenty of skeletons and whatnot spawning over here, and I just hit myself with some arrows. That's always fun. So what is kind of holding us back? Well, the main thing that's holding us back right now is iron. We don't have a good source of iron. We don't have access to a lot of things because of that. And so we need to start getting iron in mass. Now, I'm going to go about this two different ways. Partially because the first way is going to be useful for other things as well. And the second way is going to be more useful for other things as well. So for different things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up an automated system to use furnaces to smelt cobblestone into stone. I know it seems simple and it seems like pointless, but if we can get mass amounts of stone, that is one of the recipes for iron. Now, I was looking, so cobblestone gives you about a 10% chance for getting iron, whereas smooth stone gives you a higher chance, much higher chance. And just to make sure things, I want to make sure empty reload. I always have to remember to do that. So nothing too bad there. Now I was looking at the other recipes and like iron 3 oxide, how can you get that? Well, it comes from redstone, so not going to really do anything with that. But iron oxide comes from seared stone, and it seems to be a 100% chance with silicon oxide and iron oxide. Well, seared stone is actually really easy to get, and I believe completely and utterly it kind of in logic for us to go after. We can get clay. So clay is kind of the big thing about that. We make clay, then we can make the seared stone and get everything we want. So let's set up the furnaces first. Let's get a stack of cobblestone. This guy is full, by the way, so he's not going to do anything. Let's get a stack of cobblestone to make a bunch of furnaces. Not that one. And what we're going to want to do is just with some item conduits, we're going to want a couple more chests. Let's make that many. Actually, that's perfect. And we'll put this system, I guess, right over here. Doesn't matter too much. So what we're going to want is we're going to want an input. Let's see, we're going to want an input, an output, and another input. Let's see, how do we want to do this? We're going to want, let's get some signs. Wood is easy enough to get, so I'm not too concerned about that. So let's get 3 signs. Let's get a few more signs. Alright, so that I can label things and be organized. So we need to, first of all, have a wood input. We're going to need a cobblestone input. This one can be a charcoal, and then that is stone output. Alright. So, charcoal input output, which you'll see what I mean by that in a second. And then this will be stone output. Perfect. Okay. So then we're gonna have, let's see, we're gonna need to put these in the air. So something like this. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, space 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing. Oh, it's. Let's see. Can we even this up? So this goes out to. Yes, we can. Cool. So we'll break this guy. Break these two. Put a furnace there. Put a furnace there. Cool. That way it's symmetrical. I like symmetrical things. Okay. So now we're going to need more item conduits. That's not a problem though. Luckily we've gotten a lot of those from various things, various quests and whatnot. So we're gonna need a bunch of item conduits in various locations. So the way furnaces work is you can input the items out on the top for things like whatever you want to burn, and then fuel goes in the back with, let's just do something like this so they're all connected. Fuel goes in the back with the output coming out the bottom. So all we need to do is something like that. And that looks pretty cool. Probably could have moved it up a little bit, but oh well. We're not really using the item conduits, and once we have a good bit of power, then we don't have to worry as much about the whole, well, the whole thing getting more and more, using more of these guys. We can condense this down to like 2 machines, because we won't need half of them for the fuel. So first things first, wood input is going to be extract, let's do always active green, and that is what these are going to be. Insert on greens. Easy enough, simple enough. So we're going to put wood into all of these guys, and then we're going to want to have a cobblestone input. So let's do that red, always active, and these 4 will be red. Insert. So nothing too difficult there, but basically those are the 2 inputs that we need, and they're the ones that's going to do kind of the most. So if, for example, let's grab like a handful of stacks of cobblestone, and we just do something like this, all of these furnaces should fill up, and I don't know, we should be able to tell it to do round robin. On both of these would probably be a good thing. I'm not going to put wood in because all the stuff defaults to green, so we should see there is pretty much even amounts, and eventually they'll all have a stack, and as things get smelted, it'll be great. So the next one is coal input output. So we are going to have this on in out. The insert will be brown, the extract will be blue, always active. So insert will be brown, so we need brown for these guys. Extract on brown, always active. We can put that back. And extract brown, always active. And the sightedness of the furnaces is a vanilla thing. That is for hopper automation, so you guys know. So it's not anything special with the Ender IO cables, it's just that is the vanilla. So charcoal input is blue. So we need to put all of these guys on blue. And it's insert on blue. And we'll know if this is working very soon once we have a good bit of charcoal going and all that kind of fun stuff. So all those are in blue. And now one other thing we're going to want to do is, again, for the extract, round robin. So we can put charcoal in there to get it started. But then the last thing we're going to need is, this will be insert on black for the stone. We'll just come down here. And these will be extract on black, always active. And that will be everything we need to do. So we should get only stone in here and everything else should be fine. So I have a little bit of wood lying around, not that much. But let's just grab a little bit. And something that we'll want to do, I thought we had vein miner. Oh well, our axe broke. So we can just use our lumber axe, which we have as well. Do we not have vein miner? I thought this did. I guess not. I think it has like tree capitator, so it still worked, but it just didn't for whatever reason. I don't know. Anyways, this just means we'll have to grow a bunch of trees, but for right now, that is a lot easier than dealing with the other stuff, the power. Just because, well, we're a little bit low on power. So put that away. We'll have to fix our tools, but here soon we should be able to get better tools. At least that's the hope. So we're gonna put wood in here, and the wood's gonna go everywhere. And then all we need to do is, let's just get a little bit of charcoal. I have a little bit more in here. And we'll just go ahead and put some charcoal in here. And so all these furnaces should start kicking on. Alright, don't put that much. So once these guys get started, then it will be automatic for everything else. So that will give us plenty of stone. And then what we can do is I just add stacks of logs and cobblestone, come back over after a bit, and we'll have everything we need. So nothing too major there. Now we need to eat, so let's go get some more food. Is that paracel ready? It is. Cool. And we'll get plenty of paracel seeds. And I'm gonna go ahead and make more of the paracel bread, because it is just as good as normal bread, except you get a lot more of it for not that much more. So 6 more bread, that will feed us for a while. And now here's the other cool thing, is if we want to, we can replace cobblestone with any of the organic stuff, and we'll get that smelted up as well. So that's a way to mass produce the charcoal stuff. So that's something else we can look at. Anyways, the other thing that we're going to want to do is to get a smeltery. So the smeltery recipes are vanilla. Well, okay, they're normal tinkers. So grout, sand, clay, gravel. Nothing too bad there. So we're gonna need some sand, and we're going to need, wow, we're gonna need some clay. So that's gonna make 48. I think that should be enough for now. We are just going to need clay. So how can we get clay? I know it's kaolinite is the like thing, and it gives us 2. We're gonna need 4 blocks. Can we get the blocks? Oh no. Okay. We have to make it normally. So we have 15 kaolinite. Let's see, we're gonna need 6 times 2, so we're gonna need 12. And the reason I said times 2 is because we're going to get 2 for each. So I don't know that that matters too much. We can just put that there. Get 24 clay. I do want to go ahead and scan the clay because why not? We'll make the 6 blocks, and there is 48 grout. So we just need to cook this up. Do we have any excess charcoal yet? Obviously, all of these guys will have to fill up with charcoal first, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Something else I want to go ahead and do we have any cellulose? I want to take some of this stuff and I want to get some more jungle saplings. That is a spruce sapling. There we go, jungle saplings. Let's get a bunch of those. The reason being is, well, I'd like to grow them a little bit more frequently, but I always tend to run out. Jungle trees are like one of the best things for farming mass amounts of like wood, as well as the things, the spruce trees, the mega spruce trees, but I don't know for sure if those are in this one. So let's get 4. And something else I want to do, we'll get to in just a second. It's kind of minor. Ooh, there's an Enderman. Our sword's about to break, but we want to go kill that Enderman. The reason being is because, well, it's going to be kind of amazing for our for us. So let's get over here, and something we can do relatively soon is we can start making actual metal tools. So I want to kill this Enderman. Hopefully he drops a Ender Pearl. He didn't. Dang. Oh well. Worth a shot. So, yeah, one of the big things that we're going to want to do, I want to do a quality of life thing for us in just a moment, but we should be able to watering can these. But yeah, we should be able to make iron tools relatively soon, as well as just kind of metal tools in general. Now, I don't know if the Nether is something we can actually go to. I've heard that that you can't light the portal. So I don't know for sure, but because I've been trying to figure out how to get a lot of the different elements and whatnot, specifically the metals, so we'll just leave that. That'll grow eventually. So yeah, it's just a lot of things that you got to figure out what's going to be the best way to do things. But one thing that I want to make is lily pads. I want to make a few lily pads, which should be just cellulose, right? Cellulose and water, easy enough. So water, cellulose. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we have 3 of them. I do want to scan them, but we're gonna get a few more of these for here. So we have to have water for the sugar canes, but I want to put lily pads so that we can not have to worry about falling in. Does reeds give us sucrose? So I guess let's go ahead. It's done smelting all of the wood that it has so far. But we have a couple stacks of stone, which is really nice. So we have some seared bricks. We'll get to that in a moment. But I want to... I guess we need some flint. How bad is it to get flint? It's such a weird thing. Like, the grindstone should be something that we could make, I think. But I don't... no, we can't, because it requires a couple things that we don't have access to yet. But the grindstone would be a really good item to get soonish. All the iron stuff is really making it hard to tell where things are. So let's get rid of all this. Grindstone. We need Certus quartz is the problem, or nether quartz. Certus quartz. Nether quartz we can get from gallium arsenide, which is hard to get, and then Certus quartz is aluminum phosphate. Actually, might not be that difficult, but I believe it is a quest. Purple crystals. No, it's not a quest, but we're going to need them sooner rather than later. Anyways, we do have a good bit of silicon dioxide, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, I guess let's... I just kind of wish that our flint tools were capable of being repaired right now. I don't really have the gravel to do it, and I don't really feel like getting the gravel. So, more saplings and more trees to chop down, I guess. Then just we can throw this stuff in here. Get plenty of cellulose. I think we need like... I don't know how many blocks of water I did. It was a while ago, to be honest. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's all we need. Perfect. So with that taken care of, we can collect this stuff again. Go ahead and put those through. Why not? And let's go ahead and start making a smeltery. So first thing for smeltery is, of course, the controller. We're going to need a drain, a faucet. We actually might not need the faucet for right now. We're going to need a tank of some sort, which means we're going to need a piece of glass. Because I do like... Oh, we're out of charcoal. One piece of sand. I guess... 1, 2. A piece of sand can go through that. And, you know, just to repair our axe, we can get more flint fairly easily, I believe. How to make gravel? Gravel is made from pulverizing, but we can make it from silicon dioxide, so that's easy enough. It's the cheapest way to make flint is the 3 pieces until we can get access to a couple other things. But yeah, I was gonna say we have tree capitator or something like that. So we should be able to... It doesn't work on all trees. That... Oh, because they lost their leaves? Maybe? That might be why. So... Hey, we got a modifier. Cool. Leveling up our tools is also going to be pretty important just to make things a little bit easier in the long run. But, yeah, we're going to want... plenty of saplings, plenty of wood to keep a lot of our systems going for right now. Will you? Nope. How about you? Nope. Okay. I'll come back for these guys later. But because the leaves are touching, that's why it does that. So will you still? Cool. Alright, so we can take all of this wood, make more charcoal. We need to eat more. A lot of work, a lot of grind, to be honest, but we'll put all of the saplings away. And then all the wood we can just throw over here. And here's the thing, it doesn't really matter what kind of wood we use, because we can always get more charcoal. So... let's see, we're going to need a table at some point as well, but we're gonna want, for right now, seared tank, So we're going to need a little bit more lava. And then blocks. So where should we put the smeltery? I think the smeltery should go over here. 1, 2, 3. I like doing the 3x3s, by the way, just because it's a little bit nicer, a little bit easier. We can put a couple of things like so. And obviously I'm going to get more seared bricks. So smeltery drain can go right there. Controller. Wait, no, controller goes not there. Let's put it here. Seared tank. Casting basin. And that. And then I also want to make a couple of normal tanks. So the tanks from open blocks is actually pretty expensive for us. I didn't know that they used obsidian. Whoops. Portable tanks are also fairly expensive because, well, copper is not the easiest of things to get. Copper can come from redstone, but getting redstone is a little bit more difficult. There's also copper sulfate, which is light blue dye. So maybe, I don't know. Sorta quartz tank, that requires quartz glass. That's expensive, for right now anyways. So maybe one of the cheapest ways is the tanks from open blocks. But getting obsidian, we need a calculator. So I don't know what the actual recipes for the flawless calculator are. It requires a lot of diamonds. Diamonds are not that hard to get. Requires emeralds as well, which we can get from vanadium, beryl, chromium. Alright, so I don't know if we can get vanadium. That's the hard part. But like a lot of this stuff is not that bad, other than it does require redstone. So calculators, there are a lot of recipes for calculators, but I don't know how many of them are going to be really good for us right now. Wait, flux plugs are a calculator? Oh, I didn't realize they were originally a calculator. Okay. Well then, the flawless calculator is going to be incredibly important later. So if we were looking at emeralds, we have this flawless calculator recipe. Let's see what all the recipes are. So those are just normal things. We can get ender pearls from iron. That's really nice. Gas tiers from blaze rods. Emeralds from diamonds. Obsidian from wood. Okay. And diamonds from gold. And blaze rods from blaze powder. So, there's ways. There's ways to duplicate. But anyways, I think... Alright, I think this is what we're going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and call the episode off here. I am going to spend a little bit of time basically building up the smeltery. I need to make a little bit more lava. That is 120. We'll just go with it. Let's make 2 pieces of lava. That's going to use a lot of power. But this is going to burn for like ever. Makes a good bit of power as well. So it's not that much of a concern. Active with signal. What I can do with that is just put something like this. And get a couple of levers. So we have one for water, we have one for lava. We'll get to the lava stuff later once we have a good bit of power otherwise. But then we're going to need another fluid conduit coming in This one currently has water in it, but we can do another one for the seared stuff. So, is there not another way to get the portable tanks? Is there anything else I could think of that would be a portable tank type thing? No, we just need to have copper. Fluid. There is the fluid tanks. Those are relatively cheap. These are cheap than drums, which require just a bunch of iron. So I think what we're going to want to get is a good bit of iron so that we can make this. But it's going to be a little bit before we can do much. So what I can start working on, and we have a good bit of stone. We're going to put this in here. And it's going to start giving us a bunch of things through the stone. We should get some iron, we should get some aluminum and stuff like that. I don't know that there's anything radioactive that we can pick up on trace materials, but we'll deal with that if we do. But what we can do is hope for a bunch of iron from all this stone, and then eventually we will run seared stone through this, because that will be just as good. And secret, we can make obsidian very soon. So we can make those tanks if we wanted to, but I don't know if those are going to be great. Anyways, there's a bunch of mobs over here. Let's go kill them all, and then call it an episode. There's another Enderman. So let's just punch these guys for a while. We're going to get some gunpowder, which is really nice. Not incredibly useful to us, to be honest, but the Enderman, with his Ender Pearls, if he ever wants to give us any of those, would be really, really good to have. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for today's episode. I'm going to work on just chopping down more trees and farming, getting some more food, all that kind of fun stuff. And next time, hopefully we'll have enough iron that we can start making more stuff. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!